Hey everybody, welcome to class. So today you're going to be collecting data using something called a timed ethogram. So at the front of the room you should have picked up a sheet that looks like this. And we're going to collect some data today on some fish. So you'll notice here these are the categories your class came up with. They may be different for your class based upon the categories your class came up with. Before you get started, you want to make sure that you talk with your neighbors and are in agreement about what kind of each of these things look like. Actually, even as you're going along, you may want to talk with your neighbors about what you're seeing and being like, well, are they going from clustering to spooked, or is that just still clustering? And decide how you're going to record the data sort of collectively. However, you do need to be able to collect this data individually. So here's how this is going to work. You're going to click on a video. Little video link right here. It's in it's linked in the assignment in Schoology. So or it's linked on this it's linked on the calendar date for today. You're going to open this up and you're going to go to 5 minutes and 15 seconds on the video. Okay. There's really nothing to hear. Actually, this is a former class, and so in the background you're going to hear people saying Mark. It's just kind of annoying. Otherwise, there's really nothing else to hear, so I would recommend just turning down the volume. And when you get to 5 minutes and 15 seconds, I want you to look at the behavior of the minnows at that moment and record what you would call it. So if I was looking at this timed ethogram for this class, I might say, all right, they kind of look like they're clustering. It's not really spooked. It's definitely not spazzing. It's not vibing. If I was hour 2, I'd say this is also clustering. You guys use the same word for this. They're probably not far enough apart for it to be awareness, but they're not tight enough for it to be tight circle. And it's definitely not threat level midnight. So, we're going to record this at the 15-second mark. So we're going to say what we're seeing. So let's say you see clustering behavior. We're going to put an X right there. All right. And then you're going to hit play. And we're going to watch for the next 15 seconds. So you're going to have to keep the time up. And you just want to watch the fish and decide, what are they doing here? Is this something new, or is this all kind of the same thing? And now here we come up to 5 minutes and 30 seconds. And you might say, okay, that whole time they were clustering. And so I'm going to put another X here. Okay, and then we'll watch the next 15 seconds. And maybe sometime during this next 15 seconds, you say, all right, well, they're starting to kind of move farther apart. So it was kind of clustering at the beginning, but now here at 5 minutes and 45 seconds, I think they've moved more into vibing. You know, we got some of these that are going up the side here. Okay, fine. So at the beginning of the time, they were clustering, so I'll put an X there. But then by the end, they were vibing, so I'm actually going to put an X there. So you can have multiple X's. In fact, some of these, the fish might go from vibing all the way to spazzing if something happens. But then you're just going to let it play. And you've got about 5 minutes of video to watch, so you're going to fill up this one as well as part of the next one with data points. Okay. And if you're not sure, you can always rewind and rewatch. There's particularly going to be some stuff that happens partway through. Not that's it may be hard to see. Well, you can't see really necessarily what happens, except for you'll see a change. And you may want to rewind and kind of replay that section again and just kind of really make sure you're collecting good data about it. That's the nice thing about videos. You can replay it if you feel like you missed something. You can pause it and so on. And then you're going to go and you're going to do some data analysis. You're going to add up the total number of times you saw each behavior. You're going to record what time you noticed the greatest change in behavior from one behavior to another. If they kind of just go from clustering to vibing, that may not be a great change. But if they go from spazzing to vibing in 15 seconds, that would be a big change, or vice versa, from vibing to spazzing or whatever. When you notice that change, describe what you saw. What was going on in the environment? If you didn't see anything, you should say, like, describe what was happening in the environment. The water bubbles were remaining the same, but I'm looking for a description here. And then propose a cause. And this document should get turned into the teacher. Make sure you put your name at the top of it, and that is all you need to do for today.